We're going to begin with what many consider to be the biggest challenge for our planet, talking, of course, about the climate crisis. In Glasgow today, President Biden laid out ambitious goals vowing to end deforestation by 2030 and embrace clean technology. The U.S., the EU, China, and India all account for a little more than half of the total emissions worldwide. The president of India spoke this week at COP26, pledging to be carbon neutral by 2070. But tonight, some are saying that is not good enough. In some parts of India, the reality is bleak. There are villages on the edge of coal mines that burn 24/7. Residents forced to deal with apocalyptic conditions, livelihoods that are so caught up in coal there is nowhere else to live, nothing else left to do. But India is also doing amazing things with green energy, and they've hit targets that more developed nations have missed. In an effort to understand how we can tackle the climate crisis as Americans, it is important to appreciate the challenges that others face. And that is why we begin tonight in India with James Longman.
Living on the edge of hell. This village in the east of India sits right on top of a coal mine. And just below these people's feet, that coal burns for 24 hours a day. The smoke you see is carbon dioxide-filled vapor. These children breathe in these toxic fumes and coal dust all day and all night. India's coal addiction is so severe and its role in supporting millions of livelihoods so important, it seems like it's worth dying for. But it's killing the planet too. 1.3 billion people live in India, and that number is growing. It's set to overtake China as the largest on Earth. And over the next 20 years, India's energy needs will rise faster than any other country. Until now, one thing has driven it all: coal.
This is what keeps the lights on in India, but they're hoping that it doesn't have to be the future. It's like the Earth is on fire.
70% of India's energy is powered by coal. It's now overtaken the US in its coal use, and it's the world's third biggest polluter. With so much development still to come, the pressure is on to change, but it's not that simple. Coal India is the world's biggest coal company, the largest employer here, supporting millions of families. It subsidizes the railways, literally keeping this country moving. This mine employs 500 people, who in turn support some 45,000 in the region. As many as 30 million across this country rely on it to live. And here, it really is a matter of life or death. We head to a nearby government-run mine.
So this is the dirty reality of coal mining in India.
This is sensitive, and officials are unsure about letting us too close.
So they do that with their bare hands?
Yeah, mouth, nose, all exposed.
Yeah.
A staggering 200 million people were pushed back into poverty because of COVID here. Villages like these were ravaged, but these people need the work coal provides so badly. They're willing to breathe its toxic fumes on this fossil fuel front line.
But let me just show you how close they are to the smoke. They're right on the edge of it. All this you're seeing here is poisonous gas, essentially, coming out from the mine below.
Ganesh works for the mine. He says the mining company offered to move him, but he's staying put because it's too far from work.
The place where they wanted to relocate us had no source of income. We need to earn. We need to have a source of livelihood.
Hello. Namaste.
And when we go next door, his neighbour Sapna shows me something extraordinary.
We're going to pour the water on the floor, and we'll see how hot it gets. Oh, wow. Oh, my God, that's actually really hot. You can see the steam coming off it.
The heat, she worries, might cause her house to subside. Politics and the mining industry are closely intertwined here, the poor at the mercy of those who govern them. Suvar Kumar is a local journalist who's been following this issue for years.
Coal is a very political issue as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, why?
Absolutely. When we talk of coal and mining belt, it involves very big people who are very nice in front of the world. But as the sunset, they carry on their activities. Like illegal mining is a hardcore fact.
At the private mine, the chief supervisor says he's proud of the safety standards he's set for his workers, but he knows change is coming.
Are you going to build a solar plant here?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yes. Is it under the plan? Yes.
Oh, there we go, you got it. Guy who owns a mine wants to open a solar plant.
And it's the sun, worshipped here for thousands of years, that could be India's 21st century saviour.
India wants to be a leader in sharing the sun's power. They're launching something called OSAWOG, One Sun, One World, One Grid, a plan to build a mega grid that links 140 countries.
India is already doing incredible things with green solutions. They're set to meet their 2030 target of 30% renewables, and Delhi's massive pollution problem has already forced it into cleaner energies.
But this is a rickshaw with a difference. This is an electric rickshaw. And actually, there are millions of them now on the streets of India. We're going to stop for tea now. It doesn't get much more Indian than that.
For the driver, going electric wasn't hard.
It feels like in India, it doesn't really matter if they know or don't know about the climate. What's more important is that you give people an option to earn money, convenient way, and it seems that they've done that with electric rickshaws.
And the person like him must be thinking about the pollution and the climate. It is just about his livelihood.
India may be building electric capacity, but a lot of the energy is wasted in a grid in badly need of modernisation. That's why, despite all its wealth, India still needs huge financial support from the West.
The larger population is still not very conscious about climate change. They don't believe that they are polluting, because for them the most important concept, given that we are still a developing country, is where am I going to get my next meal from? Do I have work tomorrow? Am I going to be able to feed my family? Those are primary concerns.
The huge gap between rich and poor could be made worse if the transition to renewables isn't planned carefully. India's middle classes are growing, expecting to emulate a quality of life they see in the West. Some of them, like SHEREBANU FROSH, know they have to fight for an equitable future. She's a warrior woman, a group that pressures the government to keep its green promises.
It was our first air purifier.
So we've got one here.
Yeah. In my living room, I have 3.
But using electricity is obviously then another contributor to climate change, isn't it? So having 6 sort of
and
machines.
What do you do when you've got in a filter full of air pollution particles? You throw it into a landfill where it goes right back into the air, right? So,
God, thinking about all this just gives you a headache, doesn't it?
You're just doing this for your children.
But if the next generation of Indian leaders are anything like her son Sahil, this country's future might be a lot greener. He's learning the impacts of climate change young at protests in Delhi with his mother.
What do you go on the protests for? Why do you go?
Because I want to save people from air pollution.
You want to save people from air pollution?
If everyone starts working on helping air pollution right now, it could be cured in a few days. Air pollution in India would be gone in a few days. Everybody started helping.
James Longman in Delhi for ABC News.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.